from Goobertown Hobbies is joining me today in the shrine, and we're going to be discussing some stuff. Just so you guys know, before you enter the shrine, it's very important that you don't take off your shoes, because that's not what we do in here. We leave our shoes on because we're about to be walking on glass in this die-hard awesome world. I'm just thinking 80s right now because of the Expendables campaign that I'm doing. I don't know if you've ever seen these miniatures from Hardcore Miniatures, where they're like, of Arnie and Sly and Mr. T. And have you ever seen these, Brent?
Not yet.
Not yet? No? Okay.
Not yet. I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, they're super cool. But anyway, so welcome to the show. I'm happy to have you. Excited to have you.
Very cool. Excited to be here.
So I reserved my questions before we jumped into this because I just wanted to ask you a whole bunch of things. So first and foremost, people who have not heard of you before, who are you and where are you from?
Okay, so I am Brent. Most people know me from Goobertown Hobbies, the YouTube channel, and that is mostly where I'm from. I also have a podcast, Paint Bravely, the podcast, so you can load that up on your phone. But yeah, I'm an American mini painter, allegedly war gamer, although I spend most of my time painting and not a lot actual gaming. And that's me in a nutshell.
What would you say the ratio is, painting to playing?
I mean, if a normal person is like 90 painting to 10 playing, I'm like 97 painting to 3 playing.
Oh, okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, so for me, playing, a fully painted game of Warhammer or something like that is always the goal that you're working towards, and it is awesome to have that goal in mind. But, I've played a couple dozen total games of Warhammer in my life.
Oh,
And
wow. Wow,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So that's me.
Very cool. No, that's what I love about this hobby. There's so many different hobbyists in different areas of the hobby, right? Like yourself. That's cool, and that's what I love. I love having different hobbyists on the show because there's different perspectives that we can glean and kind of different insights that we can gather from this hobby as a whole, which is awesome. So, you. I recently heard of you, discovered you, found out about you, and you've been doing your YouTube channel for a while now. How long have you been doing your YouTube channel for?
A little over 2 years at this point.
Okay, little over two
Yep.
years, and your larger. What would you say is like because when you first start, you get the views coming in. What would you say is the thing that the kind of the catalyst that made you just kind of start to really see rapid growth in your channel?
Yeah, it was one video in particular. It was batch painting 100 goblins, and this was 4 or 5 months into the channel. It was the 10th video that I put out, and at that point I had 100 subscribers, and I put this one video out. And normally with a YouTube video, you get your most views on the first day, and then it drops off and off and off, and you see views slowly trickle in for the rest of the lifetime of that video. But this was a video where for the first week, it was more views each day.
Hmm.
And so it was an actual kind of viral experience, which does not happen very often. So yeah, put out a video about painting a bunch of goblins, and it, over the course of a week, more and more views. And so went from 100 subscribers to maybe 2,000 subscribers over the course of a week. And then after that, it was a steady growth of the channel, and then there was a small but growing fan base coming in to see what I was up to. And yeah, for me it was that one video that really went from kind of being a hobby to, okay, I guess I'm a content creator here now, so let's keep creating content.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I love that. So it's truly organic, viral video, not made with the intention of going viral. You're just simply putting out content for love of the hobby. Is that accurate?
Yes, to a point. I mean, when I was making content, at first I'm making content because it's my way of sharing the hobby, the
Yeah.
same way you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram or something like that.
Right.
Um, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if I'm going to make a video, yeah, maybe let's see if I can get some people to watch this. Let's see if I can put some worthwhile content out there, something that's going to grab attention. If I'm making these videos, I might as well, make them worthwhile so that people will watch them. And so that video was one where I said, okay, first I do need to paint all these goblins. And when I was making that, it was right when the Gloomspite Gits book was coming out. And so it was me getting excited about Gloomspite Gits, but it was also knowing that, okay, other people might be excited about Gloomspite Gits. And along with that, I did kind of see a hole in, the content that was out there for real big batch painting videos. There were some blogs of people kind of doing it before and after, of like, here's a bunch of gray models, and then a few months later they post like, here, I painted my army. And of course you guys have the incredible videos of, here is 30,000 points of Tyranids or whatnot. But what I did with this one video was, okay, I'm going to do time lapses of me painting all of these. The video is going to be about the process, and there's no magic hand waving. It's going to be, turn on the camera, set the time lapse shot, and over the course of 20 minutes, 60 hours is going to elapse, but you're going to see this get painted. And so there was the intention of making something that people hadn't seen before. And so there was the intent of, trying to get some eyes on it. But...
Okay. So I guess, to be fair, that is always, if one is creating content, one wants the content to be seen, right? Unless they just have it as a private video and they only show their friends and family, whatever, right? But yeah, okay, that makes more sense. So like, I guess what I was meaning to more so say was like, you didn't expect. Is it fair to say that you didn't expect the result because you had gotten a certain result up until that point?
That is very true.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's great. And the thing I love about that is that it's organic. It is kind of unadulterated. It's truth, right? When a video goes viral for the sake of natural viralness, it's like, okay, a lot of people want to see this right now. And then who knows, it might get caught in a YouTube algorithm. And if it is that case, it's because it went viral in the first place. And so it's all this stuff, right? So at the end of the day, a lot of people saw the video, and it kickstarted the growth of the channel, and it's continuing to grow all the time. And it's painting. And I have to say that this is a commentary that I got to say in your videos. For those of you who haven't seen Goobertown Hobbies videos, Brent's videos, check them out, because it's a unique style to his videos. You watch, and this I was telling you this a little bit beforehand, but the first video that I saw of his, which isn't one of the more popular ones, but it is still a video on his channel. It's the super glue video, where you're describing super glue, but you're doing it in a way where it's very enthralling. Like I have to ask, are you a scientist? Are you?
I am.
You are a scientist. Okay, right. Well that actually makes perfect sense now that you say that. Like, that doesn't surprise
it's all
me.
Coming together.
Yeah, it's okay, you explained it like a scientist. Like, that's really cool.
Right. And that was another situation where it was, okay, one, I'm interested in the science side of things. So I have a PhD in organic chemistry, and so when I look at a bottle of something on the hobby desk, to a point, I'm thinking about, okay, what is actually in that bottle? What is it doing? Is it all marketing hype or what have you? Right. And so, just going with the example of super glue, some of us will call it CA glue. Some of us will know that it's cyanoacrylate. But in that video, I was like drawing out, okay, this is ethyl cyanoacrylate. This is the ethyl. This is the cyano. This is the acrylate. And this is why it does what it does. And some people will be interested in that side of things. Some people are just kind of interested to see that there is, that deeper level if you want to learn that stuff. But then there can also be a practical application too, in that every manufacturer of superglue, at least for hobby purposes, it's that one molecule. Every manufacturer is selling ethyl cyanoacrylate. And some of them have a little bit of thickener in there. Some of their bottles are better than others. Some of them spend more time sitting on a shelf in a warehouse, but it's the same stuff. And so, sometimes you can kind of debunk the marketing hype, like, Games Workshop, Citadel, superglue. It's superglue. It's Loctite with a different name on it. Yeah.
Same chemical composition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, I get the impression, because this is literally the first time I've talked to you, right? And
Yeah, so
so
this is interesting. This is fun for both of us.
yeah, for me, it's kind of it's when I look at your videos beforehand, right? Because one who makes YouTube videos and one who has a personality on the internet, you always get curious how they are in real life, right? Versus the personality that's presented. And I get the impression that now, after talking to you for a few minutes, and I could be absolutely wrong, but this is just my impression. My impression is that you are you in your videos. That is you. You're not pretending to be anyone else. What you're saying is true and authentic, and you're saying it because you want to say it, and you really think these ways about the things that you're saying. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
that is true. I do have I don't know, the persona of Goobertown Brent has developed a little bit, and I certainly do, sand off the edges for the YouTube videos. I don't swear. I don't, it's very much
okay.
a PG version of me. I don't make videos when I'm particularly upset or whatever. I do try to put in the happy PG version of me for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and when I do appearances like this or in my own podcast, a little more altered, and also I'm saying the word more often, and it's more actually me is of course the live version of me, but
Right.
Goobertown Brent is me with the edges sanded off, and a happier version of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's okay. That makes a lot of sense. And back on that in just a second, I want to show this off for the viewers who are here and curious about this thing. This is actually the giveaway that we're doing today. This is the Chaos Space Marine Apocalypse Battalion Detachment box set. And so that's what we're doing later on. And how you enter is you just simply, I'm going to give you a keyword and you got to type it out and it'll be randomly selected. And randomly literally means mouse wheel, and if the mouse cursor lands on your name, then you win it. So that's really all it's about. That's going to be done later on at some point during the stream. But back to the video, because I have to be absolutely honest with you. When I first saw the video and you were explaining that stuff in a scientific way, my mind went to, okay, hold on. Is he doing this? Is he being real doing this? Or is it just like a really smart guy kind of doing a parody of something? Or is he really a scientist explaining this and he's being genuine? Like, my mind went there. I couldn't tell. And so I was fascinated listening to it, watching it. And so that made me watch more videos. I'm like, okay, that's probably how he is. That's probably how he is. Because and I got to say, the video quality is definitely top notch, and it's up there. It's something that could be on a TV network. That's what I equate it to. There's a handful of wargaming YouTubers that I think of when I think of that. When I think of that level of quality, you're certainly one of those that's up there. Like the stuff that you make. And I got to ask, do you make your own videos? Do you edit your own stuff?
I do make and edit all my own stuff. Yeah. And again, this was a situation where I was thinking, okay, I'm going to post videos for fun, and that's going to be my way of sharing things. But since I'm doing it, okay, we're going to do this in 4K.
Yep.
I'm going to, it took me a while to figure out lighting and stuff, and not that it's amazing now, but it's getting there. It's getting better. And yeah, it was a situation where, okay, since I'm posting videos, let's see how to make them look good. And I got the video camera and the microphone and the lighting, and I figured out a basic way to edit things together. And in terms of the artistry of the editing or whatever, I have no particular skill at that. I just, blend the clips into each other. They fade into each other. That's the same editing style in all my videos. And there are YouTube creators out there who do some really clever stuff with the way the music cuts in and out, and the sometimes it's a snap zoom in, or there's all kinds of crazy editing things that some people do. And my stuff is competent, but nothing artful in the editing. But in terms of actually trying to get good in focus shots of painting, I am pretty proud of that. I've got a system that I like for that. I've got, a black backdrop. I've got a lot of lights right at my painting desk, and I have my camera hooked up to an external monitor, so I can always be watching to see if I'm in focus or not. And with a couple of years of practice now, I am quite happy with the quality of my actual painting footage,
Hmm.
which yeah, it's nice to look at. I like it.
Yeah, you're absolutely. I mean, that's absolutely correct. There's one thing to paint minis, another thing to paint minis on camera, and it's
Hmm.
I would disputably I would say two different skill sets, and one is definitely a learned skill after the fact, after the skill, and so that's great. You're able to do both. So what minis, what lines of minis do you like to paint?
Cool. I am, I started with Warhammer like almost everybody else, but yeah, so my story is back in middle school. My family moved to a new town, and my old town, it was Star Wars customizable card game, SWCCG, that was the game. Then family moved to a new town. It was like, okay, Brent, you got to go make some friends, find out what the kids are doing, and do what they're doing. And these kids were into Warhammer. So, went out and got the third edition of Warhammer 40K, got the Dark Eldar Warriors, and that started me on my path. When my new friends transitioned to back and forth between fantasy and 40K, it was the orcs and fantasy, the greenskins. So the goblins and orcs have been with me for a long time too. And so in my hobby origins is definitely Warhammer 40K, Warhammer Fantasy. Took me a little while to accept that AOS was close enough to fantasy for me to also like that. But
Hmm.
um, for my enjoyment and also for getting views on YouTube, yes, Warhammer is a solid staple there. But, as I've been getting deeper and deeper into the hobby of painting, I've really discovered how many other mini companies are out there. And one eye-opening experience for me was just going to a big convention for the first time and walking around the vendor hall.
Hmm.
And if you haven't done that yet, someday on your bucket list, go to Gen Con in Indianapolis. It is a massive, massive vendor hall with hundreds and hundreds of booths, and a lot of those booths are game companies. A lot of those games have minis, and I was just in awe of like, wow, a game about this, a game about this setting, uh, Gladiator minis, Yeti minis, actual female miniatures, everything. This is a Star Trek game. Like I've never seen this before. Like, um, and so I'm very much constantly learning and exploring different companies, different types of minis.
Hmm.
I love painting it all. Uh, Recently, in the last 6 months or so, I've gotten a couple of 3D printers, and so I've gotten really into printing resin minis also,
Hmm.
and those are just getting better and better and better. And so there is no end to the stuff that I can paint, and at this point, it's almost a challenge to try to focus back in. And someday I'll get an army painted. That's still the long-term goal for me, but it's getting harder and harder and harder.
So okay, so a question about the 24-hour paint-a-thons. What started that, and why?
So, uh, this was trying to think of the name of the charity. Next Up, One Up, Level Up. Uh, Man, I'm blanking on it now. There's a charity that does 24-hour gaming streams, and they're more of video games.
Okay.
And I'd contributed my money one year, but I hadn't actually stayed up all night doing the games. And I was just like, okay, I gotta get some stuff painted. I want to actually do the challenge for this charity. And I was like, you know what, this would actually be a pretty good video. And I think in other aspects of YouTube clickbait, like the 24-hour challenge had been established for a while, but no one had done it in the mini painting.
Hmm.
And so gave that a try, and that was one video that, again, went viral, and just for whatever reason, the 24-hour painting challenge, like that's something everybody clicks on. And not that it was that much of a better video than any other painting video out there, but it's a kind of a novel concept, or it was at the time. Now it's been done a fair bit. And so I got to imagine the views on that type of video are going down and down and down now. But yeah, and it was a good opportunity to get, well, allegedly 24 hours of work done. In reality, the quality starts to drop off after the first 12 or so.
Oh yeah. Now, are you do you prefer to paint like hordes or single models? Like, what's your preference?
I tend to paint like batches of models. Yeah.
Okay, batches. So like
Yeah.
squads. Would you say squads?
I think that's where I tend to end up. Yep.
Yeah. So let's open up the chat to some questions that you guys have for Goobertown. Anything you want to know. In the meantime, I want to ask you a science question, if that's cool. So first,
Give it a shot.
So first off, what's your exact background in science? So just so I'm not asking you something that's not relative to the stuff that you know. Like what's your, are you a chemist? Are you like, what's your?
Yeah, organic chemist is my background.
Okay.
Which I mean, there's plenty of stuff I don't know about organic chemistry. So this you could be putting me on the spot here. I'm nervous now. What do you got?
I don't know, man. I'm just thinking like, I don't know if I could say that I have spoken. No, and I know one other scientist in my entire life, and so this is kind of cool meeting a scientist. So let's see. What could I ask you about? What is there something that is like a daily use thing that people think is safe that I should avoid?
In this hobby, just a reminder that any solvent is going to be flammable. Acetone gets used for cleaning things a fair bit, or mineral spirits or something like that. Just a reminder, all those things are flammable. Low risk doesn't mean no risk.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to grab some questions here from the chat. What are the most likely, this is from Stevie Gerbs, what are the most likely elements other than carbon that can be the basis for a life form?
Oh, I don't know. Carbon's a really good one. It's the fact that it makes 4 bonds is a very important thing, and also the relative energy to the single bonds compared to the double bonds is not always the case in other elements. So carbon is almost unique in that respect. The fact that it tends to make 4 bonds is a really important thing, and also the fact that it doesn't kind of prefer to be making double and triple bonds to other carbons. It actually energetically prefers to be making bonds to 4 different things instead of making double and triple bonds to a given element. So carbon's important.
All right, so
it's where you get that variety of life.
Stevie Gerbs, if you heard that, if it made sense to you, awesome. I can't say I fully got that. I don't have a science mind. But I can ask you another question that I will understand. What other hobbies do you enjoy doing in your free time? That's from Dylan Hardjet.
Well, I play a little bit of computer games. Sometimes I try to be physically active. What else? Those are the big ones. I cook. I like to cook. Mostly the same thing every time, but I enjoy it. A little stir fry, hoisin sauce, chicken.
Nice. You said you said you like to exercise. What do you like to do?
Lift, run, the normal.
Okay. And what kind of video games? What video games are you into, or computer games?
When I really fall into it, it's normally one of the Total War games. So of relevance, Warhammer Total War, Warhammer Total War 2 are actually really good games. I don't know if you've ever played around with those, but those are solid.
I've played Total War. I've seen Warhammer Total War played. And so I get it. I could see that it would be a lot of fun. Where are the cats? Says Flowers from Facebook.
One's over there, appears to be sleeping, and the other one is lurking. So could show up at any time.
Do you have any
No,
dogs?
it's pretty common when I do live appearances or even if I'm just filming for a regular video that a cat just wanders on screen. And of course, for my own videos, if I'm doing a couple of takes of something, sometimes I'll choose to keep the cat in, sometimes I'll choose to cut the cat out. But normally try to have the cat like wander through frame once or twice per actual YouTube video. But when I'm live like this, it's really a question of whether they're asleep or whether they're here pounding me, you know?
Yeah. What's the biggest model you've ever painted?
I think it may be Creature Caster. They got a Plague Angel. It's a disgusting demon creature that has a big scythe held up.
Nice.
Oh, reasonably large resin demon. I think that's the biggest model. I haven't done like the giant Cthulhu or anything like that.
Do you have? Are there pictures of that online somewhere?
I think there might be a few on my Instagram, Goobertown _hobbies, maybe. You know, give that a shot. Get there.
Cool. Yeah. I'd like to see that one. I might be partial to Nurgle ever so slightly. Okay, so
I understand. Now that was one I took a class with Sam Lenz a year and a half ago or so. He was in the Boston area, and so drove over to take that class with him. So it was a weekend thing, and so it's got about 10 or 15 hours of painting on that model, and I could do better, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
What did Sam say about the model?
I mean, he tells everybody they're doing a great job. Sometimes he gives advice, but like towards the end of the weekend, like, yeah, it looks great. You nailed it, you know?
Cool.
Yeah,
Sam, he's a cool guy.
He is.
Yeah, I met him a number of years ago. Jeez, I can't even tell you now. 6 years ago? 7 years ago? Yeah. It's funny, he came in as super tall, like, you saw him. So like, but first impression, he came in super tall, long hair, super chill guy. And kind of larger than life kind of guy, because he's just like, he's so big. He's so, teach me how to paint. He's like he almost could be a character in the 40K universe, I think. If I were to write lore about him, he would be this guy.
Yeah, he's definitely got some charisma to him, and part of it's his height, part of it's his insane skill at painting, and
yep,
he's been lifting too. You know, he's pretty big.
Yeah. I saw some posts.
Tall and big. Yeah, very Viking, Nordic. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some cousins who won that genetic lottery. Not so much with myself. Okay, so someone says favorite skirmish game for both of you. Okay, you start. What's your favorite skirmish game?
I don't know. I don't play much. I played a few games of Underworlds. Yeah, Underworlds was all right. But
okay. Skirmish game.
Yeah, again, I paint with the intention of someday playing, and I do have some friends around here that get me to play once in a while, but I'm normally the one saying like, no, we can't set up a game yet. I'm not done painting. But they normally will get me to play once in a while, and so I have played a few games of Underworlds. I like that. Shadespire.
Yeah. I played that in where did I play that? I think it was Nova Open.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Nova Open. It was with the guy who made the game. He was there, and I was playing with Matt. And when Matt and I play games, when we were learning games together, is bad. Like that shouldn't. It should be one of us learns and then teaches the other, not learning at the same time with the guy who made the rules. It was just it felt so awkward because we were just like fighting with each other, and he was just like, okay. He was really super polite about it, but that's my memory of Shadespire.
I hate that phase of a game. That's one reason I don't play more, actually, is because I hate learning rules. To me, that is the absolute worst of the experience of learning a rules. Like once I know a game, I enjoy playing it, but oh man, I hate going through a rule book, and even if I have a patient instructor, like I'm still fairly miserable to be around. You know, my persona is like a nice, patient guy, but probably the worst version of me is me learning a rule set. So if you ever see me at a convention or something and like I look cross, like it's probably because I just had a demo game. Probably I would have even enjoyed the game, you know, my fifth time playing it or so, or you know, third or fourth or fifth time playing it. But no, I totally get you of the experience of, you know, picking up, and that's when I'm at a convention. Like I love, you know, seeing the games. I love seeing the models and the game board, and you know, seeing the aesthetic of a game. But if somebody says like, "Hey, do you want to try this game out?" Like it's great. It's set in an alternate version of 1600s France where the portal opened up, and here are your action dice, and if you roll this, I'm out. I'm uh, already in like a bad mood and not wanting to learn what those action dice do. So
here's
that's just me.
Here's a comment from Thomas Payne. He says, "Do you have a secret mountain base where you've created 20 genetically altered sons?"
Where's this going?
I have no idea. Okay.
Not yet. That's still in the future.
He thinks you're the emperor. That's a good compliment.
But yeah, I am curious about you know, what you and Matt are up to when you're roaming around conventions. Like I've got this mental image in my mind now of you guys playing a skirmish game for the first time and arguing with each other. Like, let's dive into that a little bit more.
That's not inaccurate. Yeah, it's funny because like we used to go to a number of conventions, right? And I would kind of do it on and off. Haven't gone in a while. But like pre-COVID, haven't gone in a while. The reason why is because it's like we don't really sell anything that makes sense to present at a convention. Like there was one at Adepticon, we had this booth where people can come meet us. We're selling T-shirts and stuff, which is cool. But like we don't have a service. Like it's all online, right? If people want a Vault membership, they can just buy one online. They don't necessarily have to see us in person for that. And so it's mostly just us roaming around, goofing off. Like that's all it is. And which is fun in and of itself, right? Like there's other people, other YouTubers I like to connect with and make videos and kind of do collaborative videos. And speaking of which, I'd love to do a collaborative video with you in some fashion. I think that'd be cool to do a Life of a Wargamer.
We'll find a way. This is just the beginning. Yeah.
I think that'd be neat. I've had over the years, I've had a number of collaboration videos with other YouTubers, and it's always fun to pollinate the wargaming interwebs. And so
yeah, hey, one of these days when I'm allowed back in Canada, I'll make the trip. One of these days.
Yeah, if the border ever opens, it keeps on being pushed off. It seems it's like this date. Okay, we'll reevaluate this date. Oh, okay, we're gonna push it off a little more. Okay, a little more.
2022, maybe you'll see me on your doorstep and we'll play some games.
That would be fantastic. I mean, you're certainly welcome here. This would be your second home away from
Wonderful.
So if you had to choose only one kind of army to paint, what would it be?
I think it has to be Dark Eldar.
Yeah?
Yeah. Partially because that was the starting place for me, but also, that those kits have so much ability to do pretty simple kit bashes that really look cool between the witches and the Kabalite warriors, and those two kits alone you can do a ton with. But those kits are all convertible with the models that come with the Venom and would come with the Raider, and even the Scourges with their wings. All those kits are very interchangeable, and so I think it's a great line. And you can do them dark, you can do them colorful, make that armor any color you want, make it have any sheen and patterns on it you want. So I've got a lot of unfinished business with Dark Eldar. That's my answer.
Hey, Delco, that's I mean, you're basically talking chaos there. It's very much chaos. Have you ever painted on skin?
Human skin?
I'm gonna guess that means human skin. It just says ever painted on skin. Andrew Rawas is his question.
Not too much on purpose. No. I mean, when I'm testing out my paintbrushes, when I'm actively painting, sometimes I'll get a little bit on the skin, make a couple quick marks on the thumb or whatever, make sure things are going right. But no, I'm not a big skin painter.
I love it. So random. Okay, so are you part-time YouTuber? Are you still a scientist and YouTubing? Are you only YouTubing? Like, what's your?
I'm somewhere between unemployed and full-time YouTuber. No, I resigned from my scientist job close to a year ago at this point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so the YouTube was picking up, and also I was just at a point with my previous gig where I needed to change, wanted to be in a different town, just needed to change, and so it was maybe time to start looking around anyway. But then my little hobby started taking off, and like, you know what, let's do some fun employment and work on this YouTube channel, and I've just been doing that for a while now, and so far so good.
Cool. Brent, I got to admit, you have one of these voices that's like, doesn't really matter what you're talking about. It's soothing to listen to. So, and I'm sure you get this sometimes and a lot. Like I'm seeing in the comments as well, and I'm sure it's in your videos where it's just like, hey, you got a great voice, man. Have you ever thought of doing anything with that? Any voice acting or anything kind of out there like that?
Not too much, but I have gotten those comments a fair bit, and I actually did get those comments a little bit before I started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So in a previous job, I did a little bit of voiceover work for a science thing, and there was like a professional recorder there who said like, "Hey, you should think about doing voice acting work." Like, oh, okay, thanks, buddy. And we're playing Counter-Strike Go. A few times the randos on the team would be like, "Oh, who's this guy?" Um,
You just get that randomly, just like, oh,
a little bit.
interesting.
And yeah, again, genetic lottery. You win some, you lose some, and this is a skill, an attribute I didn't fully appreciate before, but I think it is useful for what we're doing right now. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Helps with the informative type of videos for sure. It's very easy to follow and understand when you're explaining stuff, which proves to be extremely helpful, especially in your tutorial videos. Okay, so just as a reminder for people who have recently jumped on the stream, doing a fun giveaway today, doing this massive Chaos Space Marine Battalion Detachment box set. It's actually for Apocalypse. I played Apocalypse once ever since it came out, which is fun. Apocalypse is fun. Obviously, my preferred game is 40K, but the models are the exact same. It just happens to be all collected together in this one box. And so that's what this is. I had this... this box is like a year and a half, maybe not quite that, but almost that. I've had it. It's been sitting on the shelf here, and I just, like... I got it, and my intent was to paint it up and add it to the army. But, I mean, if that doesn't happen after over a year, it's not going to happen. So I figure... let's give it away to someone who will utilize this and actually make use of it in the world. And so that'll be done in just a few minutes. Before we do that, I'd like to do a chaos comment bomb, Brett. So, do you have anyone you recommend that we could?
So remind me, do you do these on like active Twitch streams, or do you do these on just random YouTube channels? Does it have to be a live event, or can it be a posted YouTube channel or
YouTube channel? So yeah, so the idea is that you pick a YouTube channel, and I post a link in the chat, so everyone contributes. They leave a comment, and the comment could be something like, Dave and Brent say hi from the Shrine of Chaos, or it could be Chaos calls to you and tells you to collect Dark Eldar, or whatever it is. As long as they know they've been Chaos comment bombed by the Shrine of Chaos, that's all that matters. So
yeah, all right. I'm looking in chat right now, because nothing came immediately to my mind. We've got Miniac, we've got Squidmar. I think Squidmar's already had at least one comment bomb, right? Saying
Yes.
Squidmar.
Yes, I've chaos comment bombed him. It's in actually okay. So, yeah, if you could secretly send me one on Messenger, and then I could, and then I'll post that publicly. And I also like to do like, I prefer like it's fun to do bigger channels, but it's also really fun to do smaller channels that don't get a whole lot, because when they do get a comment bomb, it's more shocking. It's like if they're used to getting 10 or less comments.
This is opening up a lot of possibilities. You know, I didn't come with one prepared. Let me do a little bit of scrolling and thinking here. Look, we'll come up with something. Fill time. What else do we got to talk about here?
All right, so I'll give you a moment there. So for you guys and painting, Black Magic Craft just dove into Nurgle.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm repeating a comment that I'm reading. That's it. Yeah, there's a bunch of different suggestions actually. People are suggesting a bunch of things. But yeah, I certainly like the smaller ones. Newer YouTubers. Yeah, we kind of change it up a bit. We do newer, older, big, small. It doesn't matter.
So sent you a possibility, but let me keep scrolling here.
Okay. All right. So
I know that guy likes his Nurgle, so that's one requirement.
Likes his Nurgle, eh?
Does.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. I have seen this guy before.
We're doing this?
Yeah. Where's the... You know what? Yeah, let's do that.
I'm fine pulling that trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this guy. Okay, so I've seen him before. He gets... He's pretty good. I mean, he gets a decent amount of stuff, you know, like response, and like a fantastic amount of response on his videos, in fact.
What's up?
Okay, so I'm going to include that. I'll do his latest video here. Yeah, you know what? Okay, there was a video of his. I'm kind of speaking cryptically because no one knows who it is yet. But there was a recent video. I like his concept for what he does for his videos. It's very creative, and I think it's actually a very cool thing in our hobby. So here we go. Posting a link. I'm just posting a bunch of times, and then I'll post a big block of links. And so there's the Chaos Comment Bomb. So click on that. That'll bring you to a YouTuber, and this is the YouTuber. eBay Miniature Rescues. So if you guys, and you know what, this is actually another one where the quality is up there, where you watch it and you're like, cool. I may not be a painter, but I am interested to watch this video just because of the presentation. Presentation is entertaining and it's informative. He obviously has skill in what he's doing, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you know his name? I don't know his name.
So that's Casey. He's actually my podcast partner.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. So Paint Bravely, the podcast, is the podcast we do together, and we just ramble for an hour and a half with each other about something to do with painting normally.
Fantastic.
Just the idea is a little bit of background for when you're at your own painting desk.
Cool.
Which is important. I load up with a lot of podcasts and audiobooks and all kinds of other stuff for just having someone nattering at me while I'm getting some work done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of funny that idea didn't occur to me immediately. It took me a little while. I had to look at my subscription list before I'm like, oh yeah, Casey likes chaos. He does Nurgle conversions. He likes that stuff. He'd appreciate a good chaos bomb.
All right.
Plus, that's content for us. I'll tease him about it the next time we're recording. So I appreciate it, folks. Go give him hell, you know.
Casey. So is that like, that's his channel? Like that's what he does in his videos. That's his concept of his channel, and that's
eBay Miniature Rescues. Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about, you know, how specific you want your channel name to be and how narrow you want your focus to be, but
Yeah.
it is a really awesome concept of, you know, cruise eBay, find some old models, and, you know, give them a makeover,
Yeah.
rejuvenate them, bring them back to life, make them more than they were, and that is an awesome thing. And that is what most of its videos are. He does weekly videos of, I found this on eBay. I paid $7 for it. We're gonna make it better, and that it's, you know, a standard painting video from there on out. But I
Yeah.
like his painting style, and like you said, he does. He's another person that really puts in the work to try to make the painting process look good, and he edits it, and yeah, they're good videos.
So he's your podcast partner. Are you guys like in close proximity, or do you guys kind of?
We are not. I've actually never met him in person.
Oh yeah.
Someday. You know, I was hoping to meet him in person at some conventions this year, but maybe next year or, you know, year after. One of these days. That's the important thing. So we do all of our podcasting on Skype,
Hmm.
and we don't do it live. We actually uh, record with nice cameras and like Audacity separately,
Yep.
and then we splice them into a single video later.
Very cool. Yeah. So it's seamless. All
It
right.
turns out pretty good. Yeah.
I like to refresh just to see how many. Okay, so we started with 82 comments on this video. It's now at 217. So you guys are awesome. That's a good chaos comment bombing. I like that. When it's over 100, that's, you know, for these my this is my kind of like my little joy that I get is if these comments are connected somehow to his phone and notifications on his phone and is like going nuts right now. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for.
We
Or
should have chose a really small channel then, because I remember the days before I, you know, had to turn those off.
mm-hmm.
You know, back in the early days of a YouTube channel, when you get really happy when your phone buzzes and,
Yep.
you know, you get the email, new subscriber, new comment, new whatever. But you know, I remember when that one viral video hit, and then all of a sudden my entire email box is just like, you know, 300 people subscribed today or whatever, and it's an email for each individual person who subscribed, which is a good feeling, but then it gets old pretty fast after that.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming. It's like, it's too much. I can't respond to everything. What do I do?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So
there was a question earlier. Where are the cats? Here's Gordon.
oh man.
He has a habit of coming, and he likes to nuzzle against microphones, and he likes to nuzzle against tripods when I'm shooting videos. That's his favorite thing, especially when I'm down there getting glamour shots of models. He'll come up and he'll just rub against the tripod leg. That's what he loves to do. But,
Okay, so we're getting requests for another Chaos Comment Bomb for another a smaller channel. So I think, you know, that's what the followers of Chaos are asking for.
ooh.
I think it's only prudent that we provide it for them. Okay, so I'll race you. If you think of one before me and you send it to me, then I'll send it. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm gonna look for one too.
Okay, very cool. The fair is fair.
Chaos is fair.
And are people putting in comments below?
People are certainly leaving suggestions for what it could be.
Well, the thing is, if they're truly small, you'll know who they are, but I won't. Actually, okay, oh man, I'm blanking on the name of it though. There's a really funny guy who has like clown show in the name of the channel. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? It's got like,
What?
I think he's yes. All right, I found it. All right, I've only watched a couple of this guy's videos, but they are absolutely hilarious. So I'm going to send you a channel.
Okay. You know what's funny? He was actually one of the people, one of the channels that someone suggested, and I I thought it was just they were putting random words together. I didn't know it was a legit channel name.
If you play,
okay, I think this is perfect.
So we got a vote in a second then, huh? All right, that
absolutely
sounds like a confirmation to me.
It's funny. He's actually his ratio comments to views it's very good for what he's doing here. So I'll click on his latest video and we'll do him. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, chat is exploding with suggestions, and many of them are not small channels at all, but very worthy choices. But
okay, here's the next Chaos Comment Bomb, guys. Click on any one of those links. Okay, so this is $1 billion clown farm. See, like when someone put that, I'm like, what is that? But yeah, it looks interesting. Oh wait. Oh, this isn't a small channel. This guy's huge.
has he blown up in like the couple of weeks since I've last watched one of his videos? I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no, hold on, my bad. I'm looking at the wrong. The decimal is in the wrong place in my brain. So he's got over 1,000 subscribers. In my mind, I'm thinking it's over 100,000. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like that doesn't make sense. But no, okay, so, and I'm looking at the comments here. So he started with, let's see, he started with 58. Okay, he's at 126 now. Awesome. Okay.
There you go.
And so now this guy, you've watched his stuff.
Team.
Do you know him?
Appreciate this.
Do you know him, or you just watch his stuff?
I've just watched a few of his videos. Yeah. Just one of those things that randomly pops up, and he had a video about painting, trash as orc terrain, and of course that's kind of a really overdone concept, and like there's a million videos out there about painting trash as orc terrain, but he's just got this really dry sense of humor, and it's just like, yeah, I was gonna paint some more stripes on this, but I didn't really care, and I don't think orcs would really care either, so we're just gonna leave it like this. And he's got another video about just drinking all night painting Kroot. He's talk about, yeah, my therapist gave me some homework, to try to better myself, or I could read some books over there. I've got like 7, 8 books over there I haven't read, and I'm not bragging or anything. I just have 7 or 8 books that I haven't read. So there's other stuff I could be doing right now. And yeah, my therapist gave me some homework, but none of it involved painting Kroot though. So I'm just gonna have some drinks and paint some Kroot. It's like a 20-minute video of him just drinking and painting Kroot while doing like dry, pretty funny like commentary over the top of it. And I should watch more of his stuff. I was thoroughly entertained. I'm glad we got some bombers out there on his channel. Good work, team.
Yes, and you know what? Things happen in threes. I think we'll do one more, and I'm gonna do something. Right. I'm gonna do something here that I've never done before. I've never chaos comment bombed Warhammer TV before. And so
they don't allow comments.
Oh, now you're right.
They are way too smart for us. Like,
darn it, you're absolutely right.
I remember there was one video I was watching the first time I really wanted to leave a comment on their stuff. It was Duncan was painting up Zone Mortalis board or something. He was painting up like a 4x6 table of terrain. He's like, okay, now get out the Nuln Oil. You're gonna need about 5 or 6 pots of Nuln Oil for this. And he just said it like completely seriously, like, okay, get out your 5 or 6 pots of Nuln Oil. And I was just, I had my comment fingers ready, like I was typing, and I realized that Warhammer TV very sensibly does not allow comments on any of their videos for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't allow it. Okay, so I can't do them, unfortunately. All right, so who? Okay, scratch that.
Video game donkey.
It's so funny because I knew that too. I just forgot. Ooh, hold on. Who's this guy? Okay. I think you'll appreciate this one just because it's a hobby related one.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you get?
Okay, so here. Never heard of this guy before. but his YouTube channel is Berserker Works. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
You've heard of Berserker Works?
Yeah, I think of him more as a streamer, I think. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go for it. Good painter.
Chaos Comet Bomb, Berserker Works. All right, everyone. So this is it. This is the last one we're doing today. Let's see what Berserker Works can handle. He's got 91 comments so far on this video that he's got. I think it's, I don't even know if it's his latest one. June 16th, 2020. Probably not his latest one. But I saw this, make your own cyberpunk urban battle map for your sci-fi skirmish war games. And very nostalgic for me. I remember over a decade ago when I made a video of making a gaming board. And it just reminded me of that, so I clicked on it. Plus, his name is Berserker. I'm thinking of Korn, so Korn wants it. That's why we're doing it today. Whoa. The mouse wheel just moved without my consent. Oh, okay. 171. Awesome. This is great. This is fantastic. This is what we want. I feel the darkness overtaking me. It is a good pain. Also, blood for the blood god. Very good. I agree with this comment that was left. All right. So that's that. That's the Chaos Comet Bombs. Let's move to the giveaway. I think people are anxiously awaiting this giveaway. This is a good one. It's a big one. I had forgotten about it. It was in the corner. This is Battalion Detachment. It's the Apocalypse box. So this is what we're giving away today. So Brent, if you could, can you think of a keyword, one word that people need to type in order to be entered to win this?
Just do Goober.
Goober.
That's my favorite word.
Fantastic.
Goober.
So type in the word Goober if you want to be entered to win this. And it's not, this isn't like an official anything. You don't have to write an essay to enter this giveaway. It's just literally a simple matter of I'm going to randomly use my mouse wheel, and wherever the cursor lands, if it happens to be your name, you're going to win it. That's really all it's about. And we'll give you guys a moment here to type that in, accounting for some internet lag. You never know. This could be the first time you're hearing it.
Wow, I've never watched chat when you've done this before. That's a lot of the same word, just spamming chat, huh?
Yeah.
Good work, team. That's a lot of goobers. Yeah.
Lots of goobers. Jay Vagabond. His name just popped up. I recognize that name, so I just felt like saying it. And amongst all the other goobers that are flying through the chat. I love how that worked out there. It's fun when words work together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think that's a good enough amount of time, wouldn't you say? Do you think that's a good enough amount of time? We should choose a winner now. What do you think?
It's still scrolling. They're getting faster.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if we wait for it, it won't wait. It won't stop because people will just continue to type in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get some re-enters. Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool, guys. Only once. Yeah.
All right, so here it is. Scrolling around. Okay, do you feel it? Talking to the winner right now. Do you feel it? Do you feel like this is yours? Do you know it? It's like when you try to reverse time and the dice gods don't give you the reroll that you want. They're like, nope, you forgot the rule. You need to be punished. Is it like that? Do you know it like that? And Dylan Farrington, you are the winner. That is a YouTube viewer. Congratulations, Dylan. What you'll need to do is email support@miniwargaming.com and let us know that you won this, and then send us your shipping address, and we'll send it through the warp, and you shall receive it whenever you do receive it. Oh, by the way, it doesn't matter where you live. You can live in Antarctica, and you'll still get this. It may take a little longer, but you'll get it nonetheless. So that's it for that. Congratulations. There's no noise. I should get this some sort of fake noise, congratulatory.
You need a soundboard.
Like a soundboard, yeah. Right? Like if it
Absolutely.
I feel like it should be there should be some sort of noise that goes with that.
Yeah, then you can get like really into it, and then you need more and more buttons, and you just got your whole like station set up.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Uh, okay, so for you, for people who wish to find you, where should they go?
YouTube and Goobertown Hobbies. And if you want a podcast version of me with some other guy, that is Paint Bravely the podcast.
Now, you also have a Patreon?
I do. Yep. You can search that as Goobertown Hobbies on Patreon as well. And then I've got links on my videos as well. So thank you.
Awesome. And what do the patrons get? Do they get early
So
access or
there's
more stuff?
no. I'm always behind on my videos. Are you kidding? No, no. So there's a Discord server that actually is a lot of fun and brings me a lot of happiness every day and is really active. And then the other main thing we have going is Goobertown Roulette League. So this is a painting challenge that one of the types of videos I do is Goobertown Roulette. So I have a big treasure box of wrapped up minis, and I pick a random mini, and then I roll some dice to figure out what random paint scheme I'm going to do. Like, okay, this mini I have to use blue, and I have 3 hours to do it. Or this mini I have to use green, and it needs to evoke a feeling of sadness, or it needs to be a feeling of the hero, or it needs to be comic relief. So I've got a set of rules that I keep changing up every season. And so every 3 months I make a video that is me playing Goobertown Roulette. And when I release that video, I also show the winners from the Patreon squad that submitted entries for Goobertown Roulette. And so it's really awesome to see, what other folks are working on. And so part of the Patreon is, your entry into that league is part of what that is. So
Cool.
Mostly though, it's a community, and I appreciate the support. It helps me make these silly videos. So.
All right. And so thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. And thank you, Brent, for joining the show. You're welcome back anytime.
Hey, this was awesome.
And happy wargaming, everyone. See you next week. And make sure to roll your dice. And
hey, see you, folks.